guys, welcome to tonight's movie review. Tonight we're looking at a classic 1958 creature feature called Night of the Blood Beast. This is in a double bill of two films that were definitely 1950s drive-in movies. And the first film in this set is Night of the Blood Beast, and it also contains Attack of the Giant Leeches. So it's a 2-disc set, and it comes with a quite comprehensive booklet, which is pretty cool. This is a Roger Corman produced film. So before we get into it, let's see if there's any special features. So this is the main menu for Night of the Blood Beast Special Edition. We have the film, chapters, setup and bonus features, which are Mystery Science Theatre 3000 episode featuring Night of the Blood Beast, 8mm version of Night of the Blood Beast, Night of the Blood Beast recreated trailer, Night of the Blood Beast and Attack of the Giant Leeches publicity and still slides, film restoration comparison. So they are the special features on the Night of the Blood Beast. So there is some special features on this, which I was a bit surprised, and including some audio commentaries, was quite cool. So I'll probably watch for those because the film only runs for 1 hour 2 minutes. So I'll probably maybe listen to one of the audio commentaries from it. So let's get on to our story. So this is a classic 1950s sci-fi horror film based upon this creature called the Blood Beast, which is a bit strange because there's not really much blood in it. Or anything. There is some in it actually. For a 1958 film, there is a little bit of gore in it. It starts off where we see a pilot of a spaceship flying through space, and then all of a sudden his craft comes into trouble and he crash lands back into Earth, and the other scientists from his group come to investigate it, and they find the craft in the middle of like this sort of normal kind of American sort of deserted Arizona sort of area, and they inspect the craft, and there's a big gaping hole in the craft, and they can see the pilot inside. So they feel for a pulse and that, but there's nothing. So they fear that he's dead. So then they contact the rest of the team who are in a jeep. They're all looking for this spaceship that's crashed down to Earth, and he tells them they found him and he's dead. And one of the women starts to cry. She's our Oscar-nominated person in the film. She starts to get upset, but she's like, I'm okay. She's like that. It's really crazy. Anyway, so they all go to this crash site and they investigate it. And the doctor that's with them goes into the crashed craft and to examine the body. And they said it's been here about 3 hours, but the body hasn't, skin hasn't decomposed or decolored or anything. But it's got no pulse or heartbeat or anything. I'm not breathing. So that they're a bit dumbfounded. How comes he's not moving? But then outside we see something moving outside, like underneath this cloth, and it sort of disappears into like the sort of like a shrubbery area and disappears. And then they take the body to the laboratory, and they sort of like examine it, and they find he's got no pulse, he's not breathing, but he's got blood pressure, which is normal, and his body temperature is normal and stuff like this, but he appears to be dead. Then they query if he's in some sort of coma, and then they have a blackout, electricity blackout, because our Blood Beast has arrived at their sort of their building, their laboratory, and he's sort of like got this sort of magnet force about him. So wherever he goes, he kind of the lights go out, the power gets lost, and the watches stop and all this. And one of the guys He's outside, sort of investigating what's happened to Electric, and we see our Beast turn up. Well, we don't really see him at this point. We do see him though, not too long after this, and he sort of investigates the stuff like this, and they're trying to find out what's going on. And he tells them he's seen this bear-like creature. Didn't sort of attack him, but it sort of like lunged at him. But anyway. And he says, oh, I've got a couple of shots off. Cool, typical Americans. Gotta kill it. Not see what it's about first. No, we've got to kill it. And then, as the film progresses, we get a bit where the doctor is killed. And the guy that's in the spaceship awakens. And then they're not sure if he's killed the doctor or not. And he says, well, I haven't. And then now we see our creature, he turns up, and our pilot from the spaceship is trying to protect him. Why? Why is he trying to protect him? So I'm not going to tell you too much more of the plot because it's only an hour long. If we go any deeper, I'm going to sort of like get into spoilers. So why is he trying to protect him? You need to sort of watch it and find out. Let's get on to the characters. Yeah, the characters are quite cool. They all sort of play their role from a typical sort of 1950s role. I can't really say any sort of actors' names or anything on it because they're all pretty much unknowns in the film. But they do play the role well, especially our female who overacts. But one of the best characters in the film, there's two, is the music. It's really cool, and the editing. They could be like, and next minute they're like that. It's like, what's going on? You were looking that way, now you're there. Is some of the editing's pretty crazy, but I look at that as being like one of the sort of characters in that film. And our creature is really cool. He looks like a deranged Orville. He does look really duck-like, but he's really cool and looks quite swampy, and I like him. So here's my final verdict.
Julie. I'm sorry, Doctor. I just can't hold it back any longer.
I wish there was something I could say. I'll listen if you like.
It's bad enough losing someone you love. But this, the unknown, being held here. Alexander.
I absolutely loved the film. I thought it was so cool. I'm going to score it an amazing watch and give it an 8 out of 10. It's really, really cool. I can't give it any higher. One, because it's too short. And two, we don't get any real deaths in it, apart from the Doctor. And you know, maybe another character or so. But yeah, it's really cool. And it does have some sort of early signs of like, hello, we're going down the gore routes here in the film with some sort of blood dripping on the floor and all this kind of stuff going on. And it's really quite cool, and the pacing's really cool considering it's only an hour, and it does run at a good pace and sort of finishes with a sort of like, oh, okay, you could have actually carried this on a bit longer, but okay, you decided to end it, and that's still pretty good because it makes the film unique. Now the pluses of this edition is it looks really cool. It's done on it's a 4K scan of an old print, and it looks wonderful. It's a beautiful transfer, and it looks amazing. I was shocked on how good this actually looked. The film story is pretty cool. It's very, very similar. If you like films like The Thing from Another World and things like that, if you enjoyed those sort of films, you will enjoy this, or The Giant Claw, or It Came from Outer Space. All these sort of 1950s creature features, and you will be a big fan of this. It's absolutely wonderful. I haven't checked out Attack of the Giant literally, I thought I'd leave that for you guys for another treat, for another day. But it is wonderful. I do recommend it. Night of the Blood Beast, 8 out of 10. Any of you guys seen it? If you have, let me know. It's a wonderful sort of vintage, forgotten about little gem that seems to be under the radar of everything. And you can see it when you're watching it. You think, this has definitely played in 1950s drive-ins. You can see them all there, you know, with the guys with their sort of rockabilly haircuts, and the girls with their ponytails and checked shirts and jeans, and with their coke and hot dogs, all sitting there watching this movie in their cars. You can just see it. It's got that sort of film that would be playing on a big screen in a drive-in, and it's absolutely wonderful. And I'm so privileged to own such a little gem in my collection. This is made by Film Masters, and they have made some other films and other double features as well, which I want to try and look into and maybe get a few more if I can. I think I got this from Film Treasures, I can't remember. Or did I get this from Umbrella? I might have got this from Umbrella, I can't remember, but it's really, really cool. Great little pickup, great films. Well, the great film that is, it's really cool. A little bit of a, I was sat there with a big smile on my face, watching it. I thought, this is just what I wanted to watch, and it was just so cool. Yeah, really cool, guys. Check it out, and then check out some horror channels on me. Check out Horror Hands, Horror Geek, Man v Film, RS Design, Pizzawell, I'm Ice Lord, Cat Watches Horror Movies, Grumpy Andrews Horror House, The Maniac, Skin Crawler. And a massive shout out to my lad. Till next time, look after yourselves, look after one another, and I really hope I see you all soon.